Okay, guys, let's go. I've got no script, so I might say some things that will possibly upset some of you. Well, what do I care? Right, guys, we got to talk about Richard Taylor and Rogue leaving Advance UK, haven't we? I tell you what, Advance UK, it might have 40,000 members and it might have plenty of money in the bank. But what they haven't got is a good communications director or a communications network. Back in the day, the BNP would run circles around you boys. That's the one good thing about the BNP. Information flowed freely and fast from top to bottom and bottom to top. That doesn't happen with Advance UK, does it? One of the first videos I made about Advance UK was its poor website. Now, the news that Richard and JJ have resigned from Advance UK, there should have been a statement out last night from them. They would have been in the BNP. News like that would have been on the front page of their website literally within minutes. On my websites, that news would have been out within minutes if I still had a website. It would have been reported. Everybody would know, and everybody would know the two sides of the story. Yeah? But the communication skills of Advance UK is sadly lacking. I mean, I'm a professional organiser, and I could turn that around in a week. Oh, don't worry, I'm not looking for a job with them. Those days are past. But they need to sort that out. Anyhow, as I said in the first video about their communication skills, I stand by what I say. They need to sort out that part of their organisation. Now let's get on. What have I learnt about why Richard and JJ stepped down? Well, I did approach them directly, but they are professionals, and they said that they didn't want to say anything that would bring disunity into the party or cause party members to become disillusioned with the party. So you have to applaud their professionalism there. I didn't really push them on the subject, guys. You know, I know what it's like, how difficult it is to leave a political party that you love and perhaps still do love, you know. I'll never stop loving the BNP. Going to do a video about the BNP after this one, actually, because I've had some news that it might upset a lot of people about someone rising from the grave. Oh well, let's get on with this story. We're talking about Richard. So Richie and Rogue, I've got this channel here, and hold on, I've got breaking news coming in. Okay, sorry about that. Just had a WhatsApp message actually from Richie and Rogue. Looks as though the left are after them again. They're dressing up in those German uniforms again. I'll report on that later. We've got to get this story out of the way. Okay, sorry this is all over the place, guys. Right, the thing is with Richard and JJ, they're very popular in Wales. I sent a message to, or left a message for Ben Habib on X last night, as did other Welsh Advance UK members, saying how unhappy we were to learn about Richard and Rogue leaving the party. And I said that Ben should sort it out and get these people back. They are widely popular in Wales, and I mean popular. And that had me wondering, Richard and JJ are probably after Ben Habib, are probably the best known faces in Advance UK. I can't think of any of the other people in this country at any rate. The Congress, to me, their members might as well live on the moon or Spain. I got your message, Paul. You know, we don't know them. And I was just wondering, are there people in the party who are envious of Richard and Rogue for their popularity? Yeah, could be, who knows? Or it could be something like this. Check this out.
Is these posh twats in Westminster pretend they give... Do you know what pisses me off more than anything? Is these posh twats in Westminster pretend they give a shit about people like us in towns and communities and villages where they have no connections, they have no understanding of what people are facing and going through, and they speak a load of shit, trying to get your votes by telling you they're going to fix the country. The country's broken. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, every day we're seeing and hearing of violence in our streets, borders wide open, everybody's welcome, and that purple-haired, pearl-clutching bunch of wankstains saying refugees are welcome here. Well, I got a message for you. No, they're not fucking welcome here. That's why we've got the problems that we've got in this country. Mass immigration that's changed our towns, villages and cities that are now unrecognisable from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So when politicians turn up at your door with made elections with their suits and their leaflets and promise you they're going to deliver change and everything else, they're full of shit. They're not going to deliver any change at all. The only thing that needs changing is their nappy. You know why? Because it's full of shit. It's exactly what they are. So, why am I posting this? Well, it's just my reflection. If you think that a politician is the answer to this country's problems, then you're missing it by a million miles. It's going to take a mass amount of people, millions of us, to not comply to anything that the government says we have to do. Lockdowns was a perfect example. The pandemic, COVID, biggest scam of my lifetime. It destroyed the lives of millions of people, literally. Even if they don't know it, it did. And we're still paying the price for it. So politicians, go and fuck yourself.
I mean, was it talks like that that upset them? I do know that some people within the party were unhappy about the way Richard spoke. But as Richard has pointed out, Richard is a Welshman, and the Welsh are passionate about the things that they believe in. And they'll fight for what they believe in, and Richard will fight for what he believes in. And if being without manners allows him to speak the truth, he will speak the truth, as will I. Didn't they like that sort of Richard? But Richard is the kind of man that Wales needs to lead them. Someone who will speak the language of the Welsh people in a way that they understand, yeah? We're not Islington or Kensington or part of the Chelsea set, yeah? We don't do wine bars. We do beer and brawling. Perhaps that's why they didn't like Richard. Perhaps he's too much a man of the people. Anyhow, let's have a look at JJ, because she talks a lot of sense as well. Sorry about the poor quality of the video. I'll get out of the way in a moment, guys, but I just want to say this. JJ is talking about Tony Benn, and there's a blast from the past. Now, Tony Benn was around in the days of the CND, Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. His real title was Lord Stansgate. He renounced his peerage so he could go into Parliament, I think. But even I respected Tony Benn because he might have been from the left, but he was a patriotic socialist. We actually used to have them in those days. And let's see what JJ has to say. She makes a very good point in this short video.
like Tony Benn, he was a really decent chap, and there should be more of him.
I think there are two ways in which people are controlled. First of all, frighten people.
So the fear is from the tabloids, the fear is from the MSM, the fear is every day a new story is circulating that is actually bad news happening within our world. That is debilitating.
And secondly, demoralise them. An educated, healthy and confident nation is harder to govern.
What would be a good way to demoralise us? How grey are your skies at the moment? Lack of vitamin D and B12 makes you tired, fatigued and more pliable.
And I think there's an element in the thinking of some people. We don't want people to be educated, healthy and confident because they would get out of control.
The thing is, Tony Benn has revealed their hand. Labour's hand has always been with an agenda. And that agenda is to demoralise, to actually help us be unhealthy, and for us to not be a strong nation because we're debilitated by fear. So let's look at the jibby jabs. This has caused so much damage to our physiological bodies and our responses that not only are they spraying the clouds, they're giving us vaccines unnecessarily, and they are educating our children in a way that is controlled, contrived and conforming to their ways. Tony, thank you for revealing the truth.
Okay, that was JJ. She was talking about Tony Benn. I like what she said about vitamin D3 and B12. Yeah, two of the most important vitamins you could take. I take D3. By the way, if you want to know about D3, you should really research it. The government will tell you that it's 600 AU a day. You need more than 600 a day. Yeah, 1,000 is a minimum. Don't go crazy and go above 10,000, but 10,000 is also acceptable. Best thing you want is a mix of D3 stroke K2. Yeah, go research it. Look up someone like Dr. Berg. Don't listen to the government. They want you sick. Yeah, I made a video about this. Anyhow, let's get back on topic. So that was JJ. That was Richard talking. You can understand why they are, I'm not saying they're worshipped in Wales, but they're totally well respected. And we don't want to lose them. We want them back, or we want an answer as to why they felt that they had to resign from the party. I did have some news in whilst I was making this video from JJ, and it's concerning just the left doing a hit piece on them on one of the social media sites, got them dressing up as German officers again. Personally, I thought they looked really smart. I think if we all dressed like Richard and like the left dressed up Richard and JJ in that uniform, in those uniforms, we'd get a lot more members. Everybody'd want to be dressed up like that. Stylish. Okay, guys, that's enough, and I've said too much anyhow. You've been listening to Paul Morris, The Green Arrow. Later on, I'm going to be releasing a video about the British National Party and my old chairman, Nick Griffin. Yeah, he's risen from the grave. Better watch out. Okay, guys, talk to you on the next one.